Which main menu wants to make you play that game? Quick question for you.
Oh my god, it's a mid-show reference! Oh!
Bros Play! Alright, hello, welcome to Hitman Blitzkrieg. Are you excited for this, brother? I know I haven't told you about it.
Weird way to pronounce those letters.
Yeah.
Blitzkrieg, okay.
It starts with a BL, it's close enough. I just wanted to point out that this is what's considered full AI behavior. Just because you may have questions about the AI behavior as we go along.
But then what's beyond that? Advanced AI behavior?
Exactly. So they wrote advanced and then like more advanced or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Increased and then advanced is above full.
Huh.
It's kind of like when you go to Starbucks and they're like, okay, what do you want? The smallest cup? Yeah, that's a tall.
Yeah.
Oh, not a short? No, it's a tall.
Do you want a venti, vorti, or Wagner? Do you want a schmoobly? Do you want a doobly?
And we've got a cucino.
Or do you want a do?
We've got a forchetta.
Or you could do the J. Jonah Jameson version.
Are these just random Italian words? Yes, they are.
The J. Jonah Jameson version would be crap, mega crap. I'll give you $200 for them.
Yes, $200 for some mega crap.
Yeah.
So, I'd actually never realized that. I've never seen this car.
What does it say on his vehicle?
It says Andrew. Oh, it's an attorney.
Attorney at law.
Andrew Chisler. Gotta love it. So the plan here is Hitman Blitzkrieg. So this episode, this particular mission, I am just gonna force my way through because there's no way to take control of this mission with it being a training. But,
which is very it's really cool what they did with the later Hitman games, where the first couple levels are, well, it's called guided training, freeform training, and then final test. But in all of them, you can still do what you want. You don't have to bash a man's head against a fucking fence and then still open the
other side. Yes.
Animation time is money, and they put that money into that for the purpose of showing you that that's what 47's about. They, however, did not put the attention into the door size. That is not a legal door size.
Yeah,
look how thin that door is. It's 32 inches.
He's dead.
I thought that was on purpose.
Well, I did know if you push someone 3 times, they die, but I didn't realize the first one. I guess he just caught his neck on something.
Guy caught his neck.
So I guess this is Mr. Chisler here.
Oh, okay.
Help
me.
So the plan here with Hitman Blitzkrieg is to get through every mission as fast as I can without drawing open gunfire.
That Blitzkrieg is actually the reason why the German army didn't succeed, though, right?
Really?
They were successful at the beginning, but Blitzkrieg, you have to win before the enemy has a chance to rebut, and that was the problem.
Right, you've got to do it.
They moved too quickly and got themselves into a situation.
So you're saying the Zerg strat didn't work?
It wasn't a Zerg strat. The Zerg strat is when you lie in wait. The Germans did fucking full steam ahead.
What? No, I thought Zerg. Oh, yeah, that's right. That comes from
StarCraft.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking Zerg meant that you just blast something right off the bat, but I think WoW bastardized that term.
Yeah, it might have. Yeah. Or maybe that was actually the same concept. Maybe Zerging. Maybe the Zergs were more powerful at the beginning, and the other classes were better at the end.
I think that's what it was, because they were
had
weak.
to move, yeah.
So you had to run right off the bat. Oops.
Without summoning gunfire? I love that.
No, so I told you I'm going to plow through this mission, because there's no real way to do it properly, because I want you to follow all these, slow rules.
Right.
But the goal is I'm trying to get through every mission as fast as possible. So it's not always about zero suspicion. There will be some suspicion.
So in the speedrunning community, this is referred to as an any percent run, meaning that it's about completion, not about doing it correctly.
Oh, okay. So
right?
Then yes, that is exactly what this is. So definitely we'll be getting all of the bosses, and the goal is to remain silent the vast majority of the time.
the shotgun looks really the shotgun gameplay looks really fun.
I know, and it actually bothers me that you don't really get many opportunities to just blast it out with people without losing your mission status.
That is something that they didn't improve the way that I would have liked in the later versions, where it's not really that much fun to shoot them up. Like, the AI feels like it's much more designed for you to be quiet than to just fight head on.
Oh, really?
Like, they approach you and they throw flash grenades, but if you get yourself into a spot where you can funnel the enemy down one direction, you can kill every single enemy as long as you have enough ammo for it, and that's a little tough.
So it's not tactical. It's just kind of...
It's not tactical in the same sense, like, the later Splinter Cells got really, really good at visually representing how or where the enemy thinks you are, and it gave you this great sense of how you can, like, do what I call, like, loud stealth, the John Wick approach kind of situation, right? Nice, almost 360 no-scope that guy. I guess that was what it would have been, a 180, actually. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, in Splinter Cell, like, it shows you where the enemy thinks you are, so you can shoot a bunch of guys with an unsuppressed weapon and then sneak around behind them and then take them out. And it's, like, really challenging because they're actively looking for you and shooting at, like, sounds in the dark, right? I see you're a little focused on killing totally not Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, no, not even remotely close. But you'll see this will come up later. There's some foreshadowing right there.
That's theming.
Yeah.
Theming.
Aw, yeah.
So close to the exit, too.
Wasn't planning to take her out.
She had a plan.
But it happens. It happens. Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of the 360 no-scope. I tried it back in the COD 4 days. But that was before it really became a thing.
The only real dunking I ever did on people in COD games was the tomahawk.
In Black Ops.
Because it used to bank shot. That was the big thing for me. Being able to just wildly throw a tomahawk into a room, and there was a good chance that it would bounce 3 times and hit them. And no matter where it landed, it always killed them. It was stupid.
Yeah, what a legendary weapon. It can bounce off as many surfaces as it wants, be lethal with any hit anywhere on the body, and it's supposedly a hatchet?
Yeah.
All right.
See, my analogy for it is that game developers are like parents, and the players are like children. Kids want ice cream for breakfast. That's what would make them like you more than the other parent who says, no, you need a balanced breakfast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So but the problem is you just go for it. You let your kid have ice cream, and then by the next meal they're feeling like crap. That's the problem with how game development works, is that in this analogy, both of those children are actually paying you to be the parent. So you can imagine that a lot of people would lean towards giving ice cream to their kids if they knew it was the only way that they would survive.
Yeah, either you don't have kids or you give your kids ice cream. Those are your choices.
Right. So that therein lies the issue. A really good game developer, like a lot of the games that Devolver Digital publishes, have developers who care way more about the game than selling it, really. And that's the problem, though. They don't sell nearly as well as the big games that give people what they want. But we do see, similar to how most industries work, ups and downs. People get really excited about multiplayer, and then they get really excited about single player, and then they come right back to multiplayer. So sometimes things happen, like the last series, Call of Duty Vanguard and Battlefield 2042 both had like unbelievably unsuccessful launches compared to previous, like in relatively to their developer.
Oh, I see. Compared to what they would normally be able to do.
Yeah. Vanguard sold like, I think it was like 30 or 40% down from the last thing.
Whoa, that's big too.
2042 had a 70% player drop in like a month. It's part of it's because of exhaustion. People just get tired of things naturally. It's not necessarily your fault. And part of it's also people are just done with your bullshit. A lot of people are getting much wiser about not supporting companies and not putting that $80 down on a game that's basically what they got last year. And people have now gone back to the Battlefield before it, the Battlefield 5.
Really?
Like, it's like I don't know if it's quite a record, but it's that was a record. But yeah, it's really interesting to watch the progression of game development as far as the way that people look at it, because like games have been canceled because the developer just wouldn't. Holy fuck, you're done.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
I thought you were just clearing it for later.
No.
Yeah, games have been canceled because of people's reaction to the bullshit. And then there's also times where just absolutely nothing changes because of people's reaction to it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because you sometimes have that, I guess it's fear of missing out, where you want to play the new game. You want to see what's in it firsthand. But it is tough when you've got a game from 4 or 5 years ago that's still a blast, and you'd almost rather replay that than venture into this new one.
Well, I have had a bit of a mental barrier on myself about the games that I play, because to me it's always got to be about making it into a video, and it's got to be a good game. It can't be a bunch of bullshit and all this other stuff. And I've had some changes of heart recently, and one of the things that kind of changed me is I was watching a Russian Badger video about Battlefield 2042, a game that is basically been universally panned by everyone on YouTube, and he comes out and says, "This is not me telling you that this is that this is a game you shouldn't play. I'm also not saying it's a good game, but it's really stupid fun." So, and that was when I started to appreciate that maybe the attitude that I've had about being kind of a game snob has been really in my way of actually having fun. Because for him, he's like, the last thing I would do is use a gun. Like, what are you doing using guns, man? You can fly a jet into somebody. You can parachute down on top of them and throw a C4 on them. There are all of these things you can do that aren't shooting a gun. And really, the only reason why people are complaining is because they were hoping for better shooting of guns.
So people have missed the forest for the trees is kind of like the perspective.
Yeah, I don't think he's arguing that it's actually good at all. But what he's saying is that, like, he's not focused on whether it's balanced or even carefully put together. What he's saying is there is a sandbox of enjoyment here, and you just need to take off your snob glasses to see it. Like, because the big thing that I didn't like about it, because I was totally going to buy it, and I was going to spend too much money on it and not enjoy it. And funny enough, on the game that had the highest likelihood of people not liking it, they gave people 10 hours of free access to the multiplayer. So I was only like 2 hours in before I realized I don't like a single part of this.
Wow.
And one of it is that they took away the classic class system. It's been in every single Battlefield since forever. There's no classes. Like, they basically abandoned the entire thing that the Battlefield franchise was built around, and so naturally people are upset about it. But the interesting argument from Badger is like, fuck it.
Yeah, well, it's just a different thing now, right?
Yeah, it's just a different thing. Now, it's definitely an example of a lot of these companies do this, like, art. Well, no, it's not art imitating life. It's they're imitating themselves. So, like, Battlefield is trying to be Call of Duty, while Call of Duty is trying to be some other game, and that other game is trying to be some other game.
Which is like companies in real life, right?
Yeah.
One retailer will try to look like another, and vice versa.
Right, like Tim Hortons and McDonald's almost switched places.
Just for the hell of
at
it,
the
yeah.
same time.
Why don't you take my market share and I'll take yours? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. It's a fascinating world, and it's unfortunate that people are still kind of sleeping on gaming. They still think it's just this kiddie thing. I don't like how I said it like that. Kid thing. And it's kind of like YouTube. People are still just pretending that what's happening on YouTube is unimportant and unrelated.
Yeah,
like,
which is weird to
it's
me.
Like, look at Mr. Beast's numbers and tell me that's not fucking big time. Like,
yeah.
There's no television show that gets 33 million views, even totaling even where if you took several episodes and jammed them together and still wouldn't find that.
Yeah,
33 million.
It's just so staggering that those numbers have changed like that. I mean, Joe Rogan being another good example where his success is so massive. You can't just say, oh, yeah, he has some podcasts. It's like, no, he has one of the biggest talk radio shows ever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen to be radio.
Exactly.
Right? It's a very different era. I remember one day someone was pointing out that the viewership for CNN was like 100,000 people on a daily basis.
Jeez.
That's nothing.
That's
100,000?
That's small fries, man.
That is small potatoes. But you have to imagine they make more money off advertisers than a YouTube person who has 200,000 daily views.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of, that's the old system still trying to work itself out.
Well, we love grandfathering in things. We're a big fan of the slow progression and just kind of going,
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. That term, grandfathering things in, it sounds like such a great idea. It sounds like, oh, well, we need to make accommodations. But then it ends up with, like, you get patchwork systems where it's like, well, why does this work this way and that works that way? And it's just simply because it's too difficult to make it all work.
Yep.
Yeah. I like the gaming industry. I think there's a fracturing that has occurred over the last 5 or 10 years where it felt like there was a gaming industry, and now it feels like there's a lot more independent players.
Yeah.
So there's still AAA games. There's still, like, the industry, and the big players, but I feel like there's a lot more independent, like, really good independent games that are coming out.
Huh. Yeah, well, it's drawing a blank, but those fucking doors are bothering me.
The way they open?
No, the width.
Oh, yeah,
It's
they're
just
not
not right.
regulation doors, I know.
I think it's the same width as that window.
It is a little bit. Yeah, actually really narrow
Look
doors.
how thin that is.
I also love that these doors are double jointed.
Yeah.
Every door in the game is double jointed, with the exception of one. Do you remember which one? There's one door in this game, and it is actually in a fairly specific, high-profile location.
I don't know how I would even remember that.
It's actually in the next mission in A New Life. The when you go into the TV room where Vinny takes all of his sports, that closet that you can hide in does not go the other direction. It only opens out, which I guess is for fire. I don't really know. Fire hazard.
No, the only fire, like, so most doors are hollow core. They're actually much lighter than they look. I lifted a door the other day that I was like, I really braced for it, and it just went, what? Like, almost put it in the ceiling. And yeah, they're mostly hollow core, but garage doors are solid, and they have to have that automatic door closing feature because of carbon monoxide or whatever it is that comes out of cars.
Yeah, carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
Bunch of crap comes out of them, but that's a dangerous one.
That's how they test. They run some sort of machine in the garage and then go inside and test it all around, above and below and next to it, just to make sure that no gas comes
into the house.
Into the house.
Oh, so when you say garage door, you mean the man door that goes between the garage and the house?
Sorry, yes.
Right. Okay.
Not the garage door, but the garage door.
I was gonna ask why you would want to seal the garage.
Because in fact, garage like sliding garage doors, overhead garage doors, are probably the worst sealed doors in our society.
Oh, 100%.
Other than screen doors.
Well, in some ways they should be, so you can let any excess gas out of there,
That's
right?
probably actually what it's for, yeah.
Yeah. So just to note, I have killed every single orderly in the hospital, but yet they're still going to find the agent, know that he's dead, and transport him elsewhere. So watch for that to pop up.
That's what's really impressive about it's. I hate this thing that the gaming industry's done where they just make new games with the same name as the other ones, and I have to refer to them as Hitman 2016. Because you would never fucking call it that yourself, but you just called it Hitman, Enter a World of Assassination, as if that's a better fucking name. So in the 2016 to 2019 Hitman series, or 2020 Hitman series, which I hate saying it like that, there's... You see that picture on the wall back there? That's the... And in the inside, it's a Vegas shot, and that's actually one of the... I think that's the hit girl that
it is.
Tries to kill you. But anyway, that's what's so impressive about those games is that they don't have a lot of like stuff that you can point out the way that you have here, where you killed all the orderlies, but somehow the orderly went and did the thing.
See?
Like they just teleported there.
And there's bodies everywhere that he didn't even notice.
In the new ones, shit just won't happen. Like there's no level that requires you to do something that specific. So if you don't, if you killed everybody who can do something, it just won't happen anymore for you.
That's pretty cool, at least. So it's all optional.
Everything's optional.
Why does this always happen? This pisses me off because every time I play this, I make the same error where when you sedate the agent, it pulls out the sedative, which means you default back to the fiber wire. So I almost always miss that guy because I don't have a pistol in my hand.
When we first started playing this, it kind of bothered me that it wasn't 60. Wow. You weren't even aiming at that guy.
I know.
So 47 just knew.
Oh, he does all the work for me.
But when we started playing this, the frame rate was really low, and now I've actually adjusted my eyes to it, and it's not as difficult to deal with.
Yeah, once you're calibrated, if you will.
Although, when the picture-in-picture comes up, it really tanks the FPS.
Yeah, the picture-in-picture is not ideal.
These are the optional guys, right?
Yes, they
Given
are.
different colored robes to separate the two.
To make it easy, yeah.
Dude, wow, that's wicked. Oh, that reminds me of Vegas, too.
Yeah, a little bit. I also just love that there's certainly a factor where they would notice the bald dude with the barcode, and they just definitely ignore that at all times.
What's great is that he's supposed to be inconspicuous, and they've designed him as the most obvious sticking out thumb character that you could ask for.
Like, does he even have eyebrows?
He might not even have. Yeah,
they're there.
They're part of it, but I love the hard edge too across his back on the shirt, like the crease.
Oh, that crease is pretty hard.
And the light captures on the top so much better than the bottom. It just makes it look like a football jersey or something.
A little bit, yeah, like it's shiny material up top.
Yeah. Man, you remember how long it took us to get this one done?
Oh my god, yes.
Like get all the way to the end and then accidentally revive the agent while the door is open.
Oh, while the door is open, yeah, that one. That's always really bitter when that happens at the last second. All right. Well, there we go. We made it to a flat line. Next time we will begin with a new life.
Yeah.